We played an outstanding first half against Arkansas State, had 31 points. The thing we had to do is learn to finish the football game. Come out in the second half, third quarter, gave us some scores on defense, and then offensively we just weren't able to go get first downs. Toward the end of the game, there, 4-minute drive, we were able to get a field goal, which we were able to seal the game. But just the overall effort our players very pleased with. Just see the continue to get progress from the Oregon State game to the Arkansas State game, from Oregon State to Arkansas State. It's going to be critical for us to come out against Memphis and play very well. We thought maybe that we would have a dry spell there in the Arkansas State game because we had a week off. We played the Oregon State game, we had a week off. But we were able to put up 31 points. And our players, the reason why we're playing so well is our senior leadership right now. We have our seniors that are playing very outstanding for us. Look at our offensive line playing very well. Quarterback is playing well. On defense, Brandon Heath is playing well. Tatum is playing well. We just got consistency from all of our players, and just watch this program continue to get better each week.
The emphasis this week pretty much complete game. It seemed like second half, UP second half, Oregon State first half, Arkansas State. That's pretty nice.
Well, you look at it, you can go back to even the first game. You go Kentucky, didn't play well the first half, played well the second half. Then we get into the East and Kentucky game. We were able to play that game well. Then you go to Oregon State. You're right. We get in the Oregon State game. Didn't play well the first half. We played pretty good. Got to go in there, and then the second half we gave up some plays. And then you look at this Arkansas State game. We don't play well in the second half. So we just need to play a complete game and just go finish the game.
What do you attribute that to in theory on the game?
Well, I told our guys we were up 31-7. We're going at halftime. I said, you haven't been in this position in a long time, have you? But it's just key that we just need to just come back and just go play. And a lot of times that happens. You get complacent and you're playing against a team that you're better than, which we were better than them. And so guys just didn't come back and focus. And as a coaching staff, we got to do a better job of that where we get guys focusing.
Is there still a sense that your team needs to learn how to win and win effectively?
Well, we haven't won in 3 years, so maybe that is the issue. We just, right now we're 2-2, but we do need to learn how to win. We just need to learn how to finish games.
Vic and Bilal were able to get over 100 yards. Can you just elaborate on the running game? It seems like it's hitting on us some of these now.
We're able to run the ball because we're just so physical up front on the offensive line, right? And they're doing a good job of just knocking people off the ball. You look at Bilal Powell. Bilal's been playing well each weekend. Vic Anderson, both of those guys are over 100 yards, and it's just that it's fun to watch him run the ball because if you get Bilal in open space, he's able to just run. He'll run a defensive back over. He ran 2 of them over on Saturday, and then you watch Vic. Vic is more of an outside runner. Then once he hits the corner, he's able to get yards. But it is good, and the reason why they're running so well is like the offensive line is blocking.
How did Alex Cooper grade out in making his first start in freshman?
Cooper played very well, and that's what he has around him. When you have Wetter around you, and you have Conrad Thomas guys, Josh Parham guys that have played Stingley, Tom Chak, so he was able to have 4 guys around him, 5 guys around him that have played well.
And will Mario be back for Memphis?
I don't know that right now, but right now Cooper is playing well, so Mario isn't back, and we feel comfortable with Cooper playing.
What have you seen out of Memphis offensively? What kind of test do you expect there?
Well, the quarterback didn't finish the game against Tulsa, and they have a good running game, so it's not so much what Memphis does, it's what we have to do on defense, and we have a lot of things correct. You can't give up the big play. Arkansas State had over 200 yards rushing. We've gone to every game to stop the run. You can't allow that to happen. So we just have to take care of ourselves and just be concerned about ourselves.
Do they have a stronger running attack than Arkansas State, it appears?
It's hard to say. You go into the Arkansas State game, they've been running the football that well. They've been throwing.
We saw Donovan Brown in the wild card formation. Are you seeing that a lot more this season?
Well, in the game, we just had some plays for him. He'll continue to play, and it was good that he had a chance to go in the game and play. And he managed the offense, and he did what we needed him to do.
Will he play other positions too, or is he strictly going to be a guy that takes a snap?
It just depends. Like right now, he's taking the snap, so we need him somewhere else. We can always play him there.
Dexter Heyman had a huge breakout game with 11.5 tackles. Could you expand a little bit on his performance from Saturday?
Well, Dexter, just our defense allowed him to get a lot of tackles, and the thing that Dexter has done is that he's playing the middle linebacker position for us, but he still needs to learn how to play that position. You know, there's some plays that he didn't make that we needed him to make, but he did. He led the team in tackles, which was really good. A lot of times it was one-on-one, but Dexter understands that there's a lot of improvement for him.
Can I comment on how Chad Chester has, he had a big game and how he's developing from the first time. When you see him, you think, oh, this guy should be able to help us quite a bit, and then it's kind of been a gradual process getting to this point.
Well, I think with Chad Chester, everyone looks at size, so a lot of times you see a guy with size like that, and you feel like he's going to go out and dominate. And just learning that position, he was a wide receiver that we took him and we moved him into the tight end position, which has been a learning curve for him. And he made some good catches there in the game. But it's a matchup problem. So if you try to put a little defensive back on him, he's able, because of his height, he can out-jump him, or you can throw the ball up to him. And then if it's a backer, he's quick enough to outrun him. So it's the matchup problem helps us with Chad Chester.
Before this week's game, you had mentioned Bellamy is one guy that might not need to step up with Beaumont out. His ability to make plays after the play breaks down, what did you think about him against the Arkansas State with Beaumont out?
Well, what Bellamy, if you look at the two throws, he was able to outrun the corner there on the one long touchdown. And what Bellamy, he could catch it. Once he catches the ball, he can make things happen with the ball in his hand. And that's what we needed him to do. But you look at Bellamy, Ratcliffe played a lot for us. Andrell ended up getting banged up a little. And then Copeland came in and made some catches. So that whole receiver group, we needed someone to step up, and those guys were able to step up and perform.
Had a couple times where Arkansas State just threw it up, and DB just didn't. I was talking with Patrick. He said we just need to make better plays when the ball's in the air. What can you do to help those guys along in those kind of ball in the air, make a play kind of drills?
Just make the play. Simple. Ball's up, jump up and go knock it down. Yeah, how hard is that? You're a defensive back. They throw the ball up and go knock the ball down.
What are some reasons maybe that they get foot crossed, or is it that they're in the wrong position, or he said they were in the position, they just didn't do it?
He said they were what?
In the position, just didn't do it.
Knock down the ball. Yeah, I said it to him. I mean, I'm standing looking, I said, okay, the ball's thrown up, and it's going to be intercepted or knocked down, one of the two. And it was a touchdown. Don't make that play. But no, but it's with confidence, and the thing with a defensive back, you have to, you got to forget the last play, and a lot of times a guy get beat and he still remembers that last play, and then there's another breakdown. But it's all about confidence and get that confidence back. And when you look at that ball, the coverage was there. The one thrown down along sideline on Bobby Burns, the guy ended up making a throw there early in the game. And then the touchdown, we had Bobby in the back of the end zone, and the guy gets behind him, so he just throws it up over his head. And then the long one on Johnny Patrick down our sideline, just go up and just knock down the ball. Intercepted and knocked it down the wall.
Just touch on a couple of things you've learned about your team in the last few weeks, whether it's resiliency, or you seem to really want to learn, you seem to want to go, they seem very hungry.
Well, they want to win, and it is resiliency. And if you look at it in the Oregon State game, we're down 35-14, and it could have very easily been a blowout, because, I mean, at that time, things wasn't going very well at all. So, okay, you're looking at ourselves 35-14, they score again. So, and then we had not stopped them on defense at all. You know, they had taken the ball 5 straight drives and would score touchdowns, not even field goals. So you just like, you know, we punt the ball, we get them backed up, so we were able to go out there on offense and get a score, but it just, they continue to fight. And then you would think that after that game it would be a letdown, and there was no letdown. You get a week off, and then they get into the Arkansas State game, and you were able to put 31 points on them early, which you can just see. And it's more confidence, and then just as the season goes, and you have to win games to gain confidence, and you have to play well to gain confidence. And that's what you like to see happen as we continue to go along.
Defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown in the fourth quarter. What would you attribute that?
That's a very important stat, because if you look at it, you don't want to give up no touchdowns in the fourth quarter, especially when you're winning the game. And you look at that game there at Arkansas State, it was 35-28, and they have the ball. and we were able to get them in 3 and out, make them hunt the football. And at that time, they had a little momentum going because they had scored the last 2 drives. They had taken the football against us. But it's a goal of ours not to give up points in the fourth quarter.
You've been in some very prestigious programs, Florida, the last one. Not nearly the talent here that you've been used to working with. What have you learned? What have you gained out of your experience here?
It's not, the talent isn't here, but it's still playing the game. And it's fundamentals and technique. And you may not have the guys, I don't have the guys I had there, but still guys want to win. And it's just coaching them and putting them in position. And I told Vance, I said during the game, I said, if they would just execute the defense, just execute the defense, we'll make more plays. But you know what happens, there's 11 guys out there, 9 they execute, and 2 of them are somewhere else. And that's what we try to focus on. That's what we talked about yesterday in the meeting. Because just execute offensively, whatever play's called, if all 11 guys are doing it, we have a chance. Defensively, if all 11 guys are on the same page, we have a chance. But that's what's happening right now. Just everybody has to get locked in.
Adam Froman, 20 of 33, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, hit 8 different receivers out of 3 different positions. Can you expand a little bit on his performance from Saturday in this breakout game for him?
What Froman's doing is doing a great job managing the offense, and he is throwing the ball around. If you look at Chichester, made some big catches, Bellamy made some catches, Copeland made some, he can find the open guy, and he's doing an unbelievable job of just distributing the ball, even to our running backs when you get it out there to pile a bit. But you just like the way he's just managing the whole offense. And as we go, he's continuing to grow also. And it's so critical at that position for the quarterback to play well for us, and he's doing that right now.
You addressed the team last week about being a homecoming opponent last week, and they knew about that. You know, they were upset about it a little bit. This week it's the other. You know, you have a 1-14 coming in here to play you on homecoming. What's the message to them this week? Is it that all these people will be back, and you know, how do you use that to your advantage?
Well, last week I told him, I said, you always pick a homecoming opponent is someone who you can beat, so you can go enjoy the festivities after the game. But for us, we're coming home, so we have to defend our home turf now. So it's not so much, it is homecoming here, but it's about coming back home. And we're in our home stadium. The last time we was here, we won, and we need to win at home. It's a critical for us to win our games in our ball.
Going back to Dominique Brown for a second. Now that you've played him, is it going to be, you know, will you have to make a concerted effort, or really for any of the 9 true freshmen that have played, do you make a concerted effort to, okay, now I have to get them back in the game whenever I can to get them more experience?
No, it's just going to be a game-by-game decision, because just because you play someone, you have starters, and some of those guys you bench, they don't get to play. So it's not like you got to go out of your way to appease them. And they understand, hey, if I get a chance to play, I'm going to play, but maybe I may not get a chance. And you look at all those guys that have played, you know, from Dominique Brown to Preston Brown to Dixon, every one of those guys are contributing also on special teams. And it's really great for them because they're getting that playing time on special teams.
Were all those guys that you intended on playing at the start of the year, or circumstances dictated that maybe you might have wanted a redshirt guy, but you needed him now?
Well, it was. It just depended on what our needs at those different positions. And you look at it, where those guys are all playing, a lot of them are playing special teams where we really need them. Because what you don't like to do, and if you have to, you do it. Like you put punt team, we're going to use starters because that's a critical phase of the kicking game. Like the kickoff team, those guys can run down there and make a tackle. You know, it's all about avoiding the block and getting back in your lane and keeping the ball inside and in front of you. And they can do it. They can do it on a punt return team. They can do it on a kickoff return. But you want to play freshmen because the only thing a freshman will do anyway is play, half of them. And but the guys that are playing, they are contributing.
Is there any new info on Beaumont being willing to start rehab or anything?
I don't know. My man was out there the other day walking around, so he's rehabbing now. I don't know when he'll be back, but he is doing everything possible to get back. He's just relentless. Everything he does, that's why he's Mr. Reliable. He's relentless in everything. He's out there working out. He's trying to catch balls. And you have to kind of just slow him down. Beaumont, get out of the way. You don't need to be out here yet. But he's doing everything. He was up we took him to the game. He was up at 6 o'clock in the morning getting treatment on Saturday morning.
What do the doctors say?